Hey, so a few nights ago, I was watching Forbes on YouTube, and this particular episode was, well, a list of episodes anyway, but it was Forbes 30 under 30. That's 30 individuals under 30 years old. And it wasn't, it was, these were not personalities who were business people in quotes, but these were the biggest influencers on social media. They're business people too, but you get what I mean. And what was so interesting was this episode featured one of my favorite social media superstars, and that's Kaby Lane. You know, the Senegalese Italian who makes fun of crazy hacks, and all he does, without saying a word, all he does is this and that. And there was a little bit of a backstory about how he started. It was the height of coronavirus, and he just lost his factory job, so he was laid off. So he got home and he was, trying out TikTok, and tinkering with things to see what works. And the rest is history. Today, I think he's the most followed person on TikTok, and I think he has close to 300 million followers across all social media platforms. But here's the thing. I always think about if he had approached me or you with that idea before starting, what would have been your opinion or my opinion about it? We probably would have said that is okay, you can try, but I think it's a stupid idea or it might never work. But it did. And it forces me to think about how many times, and you should think about this because this has also happened to you. Without a doubt, without a doubt, you've probably had one, two, or three ideas you thought about first, or you think you thought about first, but you never acted on it. And within 6 months to a year or 2 years, you find someone doing the same thing and finding success. We have all had that. We have all had that incident at least once or twice. And what I want to say is that let us not be too dignified to embrace our stupid ideas. Never be too dignified to say, oh, I'm too tush for this, or I'm too posh for that, or I'm too bougie for that. There's a saying that I like. It said that if it's still in your mind, it's worth the risk. If that idea is still in your mind, it's worth the risk. Don't be too dignified for ideas. Don't be too bougie for your ideas. It comes from a place that is pure. And here's the truth that I found out, that nobody knows what will work and what won't work. You've certainly watched Shark Tanks or any of those business reality TV where they find business participants that are on the come up and they say, okay, I'll invest in this for 50% of the revenue. And you find more times than not companies that they rejected that go on and do very well, and companies that they embraced and invested in and nothing came out of it because nobody really knows what idea would work. So you have an idea that you're stalling on because you're not sure if it will work. How do you know? Nobody knows. But it's better to live with, I tried it, it didn't work, than the pain of regret. I think about Gary Dale. Now, Gary Dale is famous for the pet rock. Now, he was in a bar with his friends, and he was hearing them complain about their pets, how much it costs to have pets, the emotional baggage, the the vet fees, the pet, the how expensive pet feed was going, and so many other things. And he was listening, and he said, what would be really awesome? A pet rock. And they looked at him strange, and he said, think about it. You don't need to feed it. You don't need to take it to the vet. Where you leave it when you left for work is where you find it. And, they probably ignored him and like, it's probably the bear. But Gary took he took the risk, and in 6 months he sold 4 million pet rocks at $3.95. He made about 15 million gross revenue. But imagine if he had come to present the idea into Shark Tank. They would have laughed him off to the exit, and he would laugh himself all the way to the bank. So you never know what will work. So it's worth taking a risk on your ideas. Again, if it's still in your mind, it's worth the risk. Let's not be too dignified for these things that come to us. I remember, what idea was that? This was years ago. I was at the gym and I was watching my instructor. Then I was trying to lose weight. I was on and off the gym, and there was this particular day, it was a rainy day. And, I was watching my instructor. I had to wait for my turn. So he was um, coaching another lady. And I thought about it. Wouldn't it be so good that instead of me coming out from the house and driving all the way in this rain, torrential rain, to come exercise for 60 minutes, to have a mirror like TV with an instructor that is preloaded, that I could work out in front of the mirror, or, the TV that looks like a mirror. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. This was a long time ago. And about 2 years later, I saw something like that. It's big now, and I will never forget. I was telling my wife, "Do you know? I thought about this idea a few years ago, but I never took action on it." Sometimes we make things too complicated. We think about all the process, all the logistics, all the big things that will have to, the hurdles we'll have to overcome. Meanwhile, all we need is to take the first step. Take the first step. The first step is writing it down. Write it down. Then maybe start um, consulting one or two experts. Or even what do you call it? Even research if there are people that are already working on that idea, and see how you can make yours better. So this is not a thing that is unique to me. It is unique to every single person. Every single person on earth, including you, probably have had an idea or two that you never worked on, and somebody is now working on it. But according to Richard Branson, he says ideas, or he said opportunities are like the buses. There's always another one coming. So you will never live in a time where you are void of ideas. So take a chance on it. Again, if it's still on your mind, is worth the risk. Don't be too dignified for it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Launch. Don't be afraid of the opinions of people. Sometimes we forget to realize that people are too busy with their lives to think about you. You didn't wake up with me in mind. You woke up with only one person in mind, you. So why do we think about the phantom opinions of people to stop us from launching? What would they say? Listen, whether you do or you don't do, those that have time will say. But after that, they do what? They go back and face their lives. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope this is short. I wanted to make this under 10 minutes. I don't know what just came and started rambling. But so launch out and do it. I'll probably make a video for, creative people that face this unique problem. What do you do when you have so many ideas and you don't know which one to launch on or launch with? Um, I have some things I wrote down that works for me, because I tend to have that a lot too. Even with what I want to talk about on YouTube, I have maybe 27 different things that. So what I do is, number one, write it all down. If you have a lot of ideas and you don't know which one to launch with, I'll do a video if you want me to do a video for that. But in essence, what I advise you to do is, one, write it all down. Write everything down, and don't write it on a piece of paper. Get a diary or a very nice notebook, clean. Write down all your ideas, every single one of them. Take it out from here and put it on paper or on a notepad. Then the second thing you should do is start looking for similarities, because you notice that there are some ideas that are very similar. So find out those ones that are similar, those ones that you can maybe mix into one. Then the third and most important thing is, which one really strikes your soul? Which one resonates with you? Like anytime I want to talk about something on YouTube, I have a lot of topics that, I say, I think this resonates with me. I might want to share this and hope it helps someone. Some days I don't feel like the topics that I pick up and I don't feel it on Monday, but on Thursday I'm like, oh, this really resonates with me today, and I go with it. So of your shortlisted ideas, find out the ones that are similar, the ones that can mix, and then launch out with the one that really resonates with your soul, the one that really touches you, the one that you're like, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to launch out with this. I can't wait to do this. It touches my soul, and I hope and I know it will touch somebody's soul. It will solve somebody else's problem, and then just go with it. You understand? At the end of the day, ideas are worth nothing if they're not executed. You get. So hope this helps. Enjoy your day. God bless.